your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hey everybody, welcome down to the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, and we have a very special guest joining us soon. But before that happens, we just want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of this episode, and that is Golf Care.
Now, Pete, you have had a hole-in-one before.
I have had a hole-in-one before.
Did you know that you're supposed to go into the bar and buy everyone a drink after you get a hole-in-one?
Yeah, I did. Apparently you didn't, though.
It's not that I didn't know, it's that I've never witnessed one in person before, so...
Did you also know that in Japan, for example, you have to buy like a full meal and everything? You have to throw a party.
Why does the person who gets the hole-in-one have to buy everyone else a drink?
It's because you're sharing your good fortune. So you've been fortunate enough to have a hole-in-one, and therefore you need to be giving that back to the golfing world.
Yes, but does that mean that people who get a hole-in-one then don't tell anyone about it, so they don't have to buy everyone a drink?
No, they don't, because golf is a game of etiquette. And if you have had a hole-in-one and you haven't had insurance, then boy oh boy, your bar bill could have been racked up to quite an astronomical fee. But this is where our friends at Golf Care can help you out, because you can get specialized golf insurance.
So with Golf Care, basically, their policy covers £200, up to £200 from your bar bill in the clubhouse as standard. To be eligible for a hole-in-one, it must occur during an 18 or 9-hole medal or club competitions that conform with rules and regulations. So it can't be a tournament where you've had multiple goes at it, because obviously that's not going to be allowed. But I don't want to be going into the clubhouse and buying 20 drinks for people when I get eventually my hole-in-one. So I'm going to have Golf Care in place to make sure that I've got everything covered.
Okay. So if you live in hope of that hole-in-one playing in a competition, but you don't want to be stung by the bar bill, then Golf Care are running an exclusive offer for the Rough Cut Golf Podcast audience. Not only are they offering new customers 30% off specialist golf insurance, they're also throwing in 6 free Pro V1s, 3 Wilson balls, and 3 free rounds of golf worth £340 at selected courses across the UK. So, to get this offer, head over to www.golfcare.co.uk/roughcut and you will get access to these offers. Terms and conditions apply. Now, let's jump into the podcast. Okay, we have been joined by the one and the only Sean Walsh. Well, in fact, there is actually 2 of you. There's also a comedian.
There is.
Sean Walsh. But he is not in good. He can't swing a golf club. And boy, oh boy, he can't putt as well as this man next to me.
Oh, that is very true.
Maybe to a certain extent. But hey, I'm sure he's a great guy. So, have been mistakenly misidentified, via Instagram. A couple people have been reaching out to that Sean Walsh. Turns out DM ended up in my inbox. But hey, you know what? I'm sure he's a great guy too. He can to be fair, sometimes I putt pretty bad.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
yet. It's more of a putting bad's a relative thing, I guess.
No evidence of that so far today. I mean, we are here in the incredible Keir Island. I almost said Hilton Head. We were there a few days ago. We have been on a magical mystery ride down from Orlando all the way up to here at Keir Island with our good friends at Golf Breaks. And we've been doing some amazing videos, and we filmed another one this morning. We're about to film another one this afternoon. We won't spoil the results, obviously, but Sean is potentially a top 10 golfer in the world right now. So there is that.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
He did things with the golf ball today
maybe.
that I've very rarely seen before. It was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate that.
Have you been playing that well recently, or was that a surprise?
No, I would say about a few weeks ago, I kind of made some strides in my golf swing, and I mean, really coming out of 2025, beginning of 2026, it was kind of sloppy. Wasn't hitting it that great. Kind of took some time off in December, so it's kind of understandable. But really just doing a lot of stupid stuff. But then I will say, a few weeks ago, found some stuff in my golf swing. Kind of trying to get it back when I used to play professionally a little bit, and so yeah, and I think we've kind of found it. Just trying to keep the ball in front of me a little bit, and I mean, again, I don't make a ton of bogeys when I hit a decent off the tee, and so it's like,
Yeah, you were pretty solid off the tee today.
yeah. So it's like if I can do that, again, I'm not gonna hit as far as Brad, but if I can, find a way to, get it out there decent enough, my iron plays good, and I'll just, if I make 5 birdies in a round, I'm gonna shoot pretty close to 500. That's kind of the way I feel.
Man, honestly, I think if you're a good driver, then you're not going to have any problems. Talking about good drivers, we've had a bit of an issue this week with Tiger Woods, who
Crazy segue.
I know,
That was really
I
good.
know, and you know what? I kind of just wanted to carry on and ignore what a good segue that
I'm
was.
disappointed that I didn't see it
But-
coming.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that was
the way
so
it is-
I
good.
thought you were going to talk about another golfer.
No,
Oh.
I was just I had it for a moment,
Yeah.
and I just let it slip.
Let's pretend it didn't happen.
No,
Do it
okay,
again.
yeah.
Do it again.
Mhm.
Let's pretend it
No,
didn't
it's
happen.
it's
Go
all
on.
gone. It's all gone. And you know what? We'd also pretend didn't happen is that my favourite golfer from history has had another prank. He managed to flip his car over on a flat road with apparently overtaking another vehicle. It's. I don't really know what to think. If you've not seen the news yet, then Tiger Woods had another car crash, flipped his car over. He's uninjured, thankfully, but he got arrested at the scene for DUI, even though he tested negative on the alcohol screen, but apparently he didn't give a urine sample, and that's deemed
A fail.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, maybe this isn't the spot to get into all the whole legal jargon, but that seems weird. Like how
Yeah.
you can refuse, and they're like, okay, thanks for refusing, we're charging you. And it's like, so I don't know. I don't really understand it, but obviously a tough scene.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a bit sad more than anything.
100%.
And I just feel a little bit just sad about it more than anything. I think it's something which is more disappointing, obviously being a Tiger fan, growing up as him as my golfing hero. Like to see him effectively step away from the game during this 5 years, because he's literally not played golf realistically in
Right.
5 years
Yeah.
now. And he's turned 50. Chances are he's not going to be playing the Masters. Chances are he's maybe not going to play professional golf properly again. So it feels like a really sad end to what has been an incredible career. And there's obviously something, I don't know, guy needs to find something to do.
That isn't drive whilst under the influence of some sort of substance.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Quite right. Thank you. Is this the end for Tiger?
I mean, I think it's probably been the end for a while. There's always the hope, because Tiger was written off massively before 2019. Obviously came back, won the Masters, one of the most incredible Masters ever. Just dreams come true kind of stuff. So you can never ever say never, but the never is pretty closer than ever to being forever.
And cut.
How did he?
What on earth was that?
I don't know.
How
I don't even know what that was. I mean, if that could be,
That's good.
if we could actually play that back and actually, did that make any sense?
Yeah.
It did.
It
Every
felt-
single word. I was following
It
it.
felt like I was in a bit of a corridor and I was trying to get out of it, and I kind of found my way there.
Beautifully.
That really
Like
did.
poetically.
I think that was
Oh,
really yeah.
My God.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Can we get that printed? Can I have
Yeah.
a quote?
I don't.
Yeah.
think
I'm
that's 26,
like
yes.
scared and terrified to follow that up.
Oh, good Lord.
I mean,
Yeah, Sean, tell us your opinion on the Tiger situation.
gosh, mine's not gonna be as eloquent, but no, I mean,
Got a rhyme.
it has to rhyme. Oh, and I'm out of time. No, I think that it's,
It's not bad. That's not bad. It's really not bad.
Good.
yeah, this pod's
God
over.
bless America.
No, no, I think that in reality, I really would have loved to have seen him, and I really still, I'm gonna hold out hope. I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope that he could somehow. I would have never been so intrigued in a U.S. Senior Open, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's some sort of call it a quadruple crown of Junior Am, US Am, US Open, US Senior Open.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah, I don't know how long that list is. I can't imagine it's that long.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I
Right? Yeah,
honestly wouldn't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
know.
just made it up as far as the quadruple crown. but like that would kind of be it's like the USGA gauntlet would be completed.
I mean, I'm not. It's kind of a slightly sensitive way to put it. Can Tiger use a car? Can he drive a car? Not as in, can he drive a car? That in these competitions, could he drive a car so he could get around the golf course?
I think in the senior, well, I know on Champions Tour they're allowed to.
Yeah.
U.S. Senior Open, I'm not sure.
Like senior majors, it feels like they wouldn't be able to do.
That would, I'm gonna be totally honest. I've never watched the U.S. Senior Open, probably. However, I think there was some stuff back in the day, and I can't really remember. I think it might have been U.S. Open about Casey Martin, the University of Oregon coach that was Tiger's old roommate at Stanford. He had the hip issue. I don't know if you remember. No, but I remember him like petitioning the USGA to let him use a card or something. They said no. I'm pretty confident. Yeah. I mean, great player, but yeah, I mean that I'm gonna hold out hope for that.
It's because the problem is like I watched the last time I saw Tiger was at Troon. Sure, it was Troon. Played at Troon. It was Troon or Royal Liverpool. I can't even remember. But all I remember is standing behind him on the range. So I was working on the range, stood behind him, just hitting shots, and it was just one of the best things.
Yeah,
it was beautiful to watch. It was poetic. Iron strike, like dush, like same airspace, shaping it, amazing. And then he just took like a few steps, like away from where he was hitting, like towards his bag. It just didn't. It hardly looked like he could walk like 5 feet.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this just isn't going to end well. Like, how is he going to get around this golf course? And I think that seems to be the biggest issue. Like, despite having multiple surgeries, despite having a back which is, as far as I'm aware now, 92% metal infused.
I would imagine,
he can still move. He can still swing great. But then he just can't. He's not mobile.
Yeah, he seems to get to the like 36-hole point and then start to struggle with the actual walking and not the golf.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, he must be exhausted. Like because he was saying, he said before, like when he plays now, he's on a cart. Like he doesn't walk. He can't walk 18, and pretty much every course that you want to see him at, I'm thinking Masters obviously straight away. Right. Like he's not going to be able to get up and down those hills realistically without serious painkillers, without serious medication, and
which leads to the beginning of the conversation, exactly. Right? Yeah, it's kind of it's a crazy cycle that in a loop that he's unfortunately in, and I mean it does seem like from a personal, it's like from him as a human being, it's like like you have to break the cycle. It's like if the cycle is hey, like in order for me to play golf, I have to do this. It's like for his humanity's sake, I would be like, then don't do that.
Yeah.
But from like the little kid golfer in me, that it's just like I just love watching Tiger hit balls, watching Tiger play golf. Like, and I will say too, it's like I don't know, like you always want to remember Tiger like for like the great things that he did, obviously, and it's easy to do, but it's like that's like the last thing I'd want to do is like, or I'd want to see is him kind of like really struggling to be like a different Tiger than. I remember watching, growing up and stuff like that. Like you said, like 2019 was like so incredible. And we were like, holy crap, like this could be, like, is this like the comeback? Or, little did we realize that was kind of actually like,
does it?
Could have been the potential lastly, the last go of it.
Kind of a weird one with Tiger. And obviously, as mentioned, like he's my golfing hero. Do you think, with all the injuries had, with everything that's happened, he's underachieved? Sounds a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
But do you think he's actually underachieved in his career?
I think
for me, he's the greatest of all time. Like Jack's got the record as far as majors go.
Yeah.
But I think for the amount of time that Tiger's played, I don't. I wasn't around for the Jack era, and it's easy for me to say Tiger's the best.
Yeah.
Because I never saw kind of Jack in his prime or anything like that, so it's easy. But for me, he's the greatest. But having said that, just think of the lost time. Think of the lost years.
In the years between the injury and the comeback, would he have racked up more majors? That's the question. And the answer is undoubtedly yes. If he hadn't got injured.
Like, you can't confidently say he wouldn't have won a major. another major, another 3 or 4, however many
think-
he's behind Jack.
I think you could probably go. We'd have to like research this, do ChatGPT, maybe do it after, just throw up the number.
I'm
of how
here
many-
if you need anything. I'm back on now.
Oh, you're back on.
Oh,
Okay,
Kieran's
Kieran's
back.
back on.
Oh,
we
Kieran!
got Jamie.
Just ChatGPT it and just ask how many years Tiger Woods has lost in his career due to injury.
I mean, it's got to be over 4, right?
I haven't got ChatGPT, but
You'll do it. So this
I can do it here. I've got it.
yeah.
on.
There's a website.
But
There's a
I-
website. There's a website. There's also a login. Company login which I paid for to use, which
yeah. No.
obviously ignored again.
What I was going to say here is that he has come second 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
Honestly, that stat is not comparable to Jack though.
Yeah,
Jack Nicklaus came second in majors like 30
I'm gonna have a
times.
look.
He was the king of second.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, it's
He
a
finished
big
second more than he did
exaggeration.
first, right?
Roughly 6 to 8 years significantly lost to injury.
That's 24 to 32 majors.
Yeah. Like if you
Well done.
if you top out 8 years, it's almost that's like if you think of like most professional golfers, even if they're healthy, they've got a 30-year
Right.
window
Yeah.
of playing
Mhm.
competitive good golf. Like to lose almost a third of that time,
In times at which he was playing.
he was dominant. He was the dominant
Right.
force.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, yeah, we're not being like, oh, but like he could have used that time to get better. Like he was the best already.
Yeah.
Like he didn't need that time. Like,
It's an impossible conversation because you can't. Like, it's the same with any like if you're looking at footballers or like any major sports people, like they all have injuries. Like that's
yeah.
the injuries that I don't know. It just
Injury
seems
in your prime is different to injury as you're coming out of your career, or
Well,
injury very early in
just
your career.
consistent injuries as well, and
Yeah.
especially like the car crash one. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just wonder in a sense of
There's a sense of what could have been.
yeah.
There has to be.
It's just in my mind. There's a conversation of we always have the debate of like who is the greatest of all time. Going back from Jones all the way, up to now. And if he hadn't have lost that time, I don't think there would have been doubt. Like Tiger would have been. Like it would have been unquestionably.
Yeah.
Jack
So-
Nicklaus has finished second 19 times
19 times.
In majors.
Yeah.
in majors.
Yeah. So he's finished second more than he has first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
wild.
crazy.
Which is why you would have like there's people like listening, watching this who would have watched Jack and they'd be like, oh, you guys just don't know what you're talking about. Like Jack and his
Yeah.
Which I get, I completely.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a shame.
It is.
Something that isn't a shame though, and someone who's also come back from adversity and paralysing adversity in some respects, Gary Woodland.
Ridiculous story.
Now-
Absolutely ridiculous.
Now this is the one. So Gary Woodland won the Texas Houston's Children's.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, he won in Houston.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you
He
won.
did.
You won whatever the tour event was last
Yeah,
week.
well, what's that? It's the Texas Houston
It's
Children's.
the Texas Children's
Houston Open.
Houston Open.
Houston
Texas
Open.
Children's Houston Open.
Which is an event which raises a lot of money for charity, and you have it. It wasn't a hugely strong fielded event. Like it's not a signature event.
Right.
It's a consistent. It's a event that a lot of people do kind
Mm-hmm.
of play in. A couple of weeks before the Masters as well, so really good timing. And Gary Woodland, who has been going through a horrible time over the last few years with suffering with a brain tumor, which he had removed. A brain tumor, by the way, which was pushing on a part of his brain that was triggering his fear response. So he was just walking around terrified at
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And then he's had that removed, and he came out literally a few weeks ago talking about how he's been struggling on the golf course. He's got PTSD from kind of what he was going through with that. And to come through the other side and to win, and not only to win, but to actually batter the field as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, when we looked at, did we tune in during the end of the first round?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
was 7 under in the first round, and then just held on.
Yeah, just kept
was
on going.
just-
Like,
Yeah.
One by
battering people.
1 by 5 shots.
I would say 1 by
Oh,
5.
good
I'm pretty
lord.
sure he had at least a 7-shot lead at some point on the back 9,
yeah.
like yesterday. And I did see a quote I saw on Instagram today, but I mean him talking about kind of how he was going through it there at the end. I mean, you talk about like triggering your fear response. I know that he's come out with saying, things like he's had some PTSD and things like that. I mean, and he said that, you imagine the most stressful, the most stressful situation possible that wasn't, his brain tumor, you know, and having to go through that in that last 7 holes, like trying to hold on to a victory. And, you can imagine a lot of stuff popped up and, obviously beautifully well done. And
Yeah, he said coming off the green, they do like a post-round interview. Obviously, he was very emotional coming off the green, having, drained the last putt and won the tournament. And he said that I hope this inspires other people to also not give up. I imagine, when you're in that situation, obviously, thankfully I've never had to deal with something like that myself, but you're all of you is thinking, "I'll just give up and like don't come back and play golf." It's easier not to do it. It's easier just to stay at home and stay out of it and take the competition element out of your life and take it easy. And he didn't, and he said, "I hope this inspires other people not to give up as well," which was incredible.
brings you back to Tiger.
Which brings you back to Tiger.
Well, yeah, but
But Tiger should give up.
Everybody but Tiger shouldn't give up.
shouldn't give up.
Is
But
that your stance?
But Tiger had his moment.
Yeah.
Right? He came back from what everyone thought was a career-ending injury, and he did the thing that everyone said he couldn't do. And then he tried to do it again and again and again and again. And I just think at this point, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to watch your hero limp around a golf course.
No, but I think
You want to watch them go out and batter everyone by 7 shots. And
yeah, to a point.
Inspire people again, and which is exactly what Gary Woodland went and did.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You can't keep expecting someone like Tiger to keep coming back and to keep kind of producing these results, to keep being the player that he was, because he's physically not the person that he used to be. It's as simple as that. Yeah. But like with Woodland, I think it shows that there is still really amazing stories within professional golf that can inspire. Like we talk about this all the time. It's kind of like the tournaments that you watch, like what are the things that actually still mean something? And this event actually means something. Like it's a great story. Everyone loves that, that comeback story, and he has managed to do that and just be like a real inspiration. Like I was watching the highlights yesterday, and it was like, oh, man.
Yeah, you would talk about like there's been just in golf in general this year. There's been some crazy ones. Obviously, Anthony came earlier on this year.
Yep.
And then now
we really have
Gary
had
Woodland. It's been a pretty great year for golf, and especially like when it felt like golf was very much so like falling into, the same like cookie cutter answers. Like in every press conference, you heard the exact same thing over and over again, things like that. It's really cool to see like these, certain individuals taking on like and actually opening up and being a real human, for example, and like not trying to be Mr. Tough Guy and not trying to be like the pro's pro and I'm going to answer, it was really tough out there, like to give it the whole Tiger Woods. It's like same answer you get to every single question. And so, obviously what Gary did was unbelievable. And I don't know, it's so nice because there's these guys that are, getting so much like easier to root for. Not that Gary Woodland was ever tough to root for, but it's all of a sudden like, it's like, I liked Gary Woodland, but now I'm a fan of Gary Woodland.
Yeah.
In the same way Anthony Kim. It's like, obviously I remember the days of like, I was a fan of Anthony Kim, but honestly, that was 12, 14 years ago. And so now it's just like, okay, I'm an Anthony Kim fan again. And so it's cool. Like, when I guess I was like losing people to be fans of in pro golf a little bit.
Yes.
And now I'm like back to being like, holy smokes, like I'm a Gary Woodland fan. I'm a Anthony Kim fan. I'm, there's probably a few other people, and that it's just like I'm your fan.
Yeah,
again.
you want to be able to invest your kind of emotions into people that you can root for, that have stories.
Right.
Like I said, like there's nothing wrong with being a real professional golfer and focusing fully on your craft and becoming a great tour pro. But if you keep everything to yourself, you don't give anything away, you do, become that vanilla kind of golf pro.
Right.
It's hard to root for. It's hard to get excited as a fan of golf for that. But that's not what happened here. Wow. Oh my word. And it just, it's such a big week for the wins as well because LA Country Club
Country
won
Club.
the TGL.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
Which was
LAGC.
LA Golf Club. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, have you not seen the merch?
It was it was a massive moment.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that one between Justin Rose, Tommy, Colin, Sahith, I'm pretty sure that's probably what they would all say is their crowning achievement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine.
Oh,
So,
Yeah. Did you see
100%.
Did you see the parades in LA?
no, I missed it. Those were parades? Is that
Yeah,
what
they
those
were
Yeah,
parades.
yeah.
They basically closed down the whole of downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the way down to Santa Monica,
Yeah.
and then back again because the crowds were not dispersing.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were like, bring them back round.
Huge party on Abbot Kinney.
Bring 'em back.
Yep.
Yeah. Big
Yep.
open top limos.
Yeah.
For the four of them.
Yeah, for the four of them.
The-
Each had a limo each.
The gym on the beach
Yeah.
was pumping out, inspiration.
Nice. Muscle Beach
yeah.
was, they were like, let's go LAGC, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
4 million they spent on the fireworks.
Yeah. Just on the fireworks.
Yeah,
It was
just-
daytime. Get that through you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it was so expensive because the fireworks had to be super bright to get
Yeah.
past the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually they actually spent that money on dark fireworks. Like when they exploded, rather than being light, they like sucked in the light.
It's like dark matter.
Dark matter
Dark matter
fireworks.
fireworks.
Dark matter fireworks.
Dark matter fireworks.
Have
By
you ever-
Peter Finch.
I've
Coming
ever-
soon.
have you ever seen June? Have you seen June Part 2?
Yeah.
When what's his name? Rathwater, or whatever his name is, walks out into the
You're a June fan.
arena.
Yeah.
And like all the like globular fireworks go up, they explode like
Yeah,
black, don't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Like those ones.
That's what they had in LA to celebrate LAGC.
Dark matter fireworks.
Yeah.
June fireworks.
It matches the merch as well.
They had one of them
It
words.
does. Yeah, the
it
black
matches
and
the
white.
merch. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've hit golf shots on that simulator. What's it like?
It's trippy. Because you normally, obviously, when you're in a sim, what's the screen? 6-8 paces away, something like that. But yeah, that one's wild. And it's like, for the most part, it's like you hit it and you can kind of tell what the ball's going to do. And so yeah, and then it's like you kind of see a little bit of a delay and then it tracks and shows you what the ball is going to do. And so I would say the hardest part is like when those guys got to go up to like, there's a secondary box
Yes.
for like, I think it's something like 41 to like 70 yards or 80 yards or something like that. That's a nightmare. And these poor pros, it's like you see them like when they've had to go
These
up
poor
there.
pros.
poor
Oh
pros.
God, they are. You know
Feel
what they
bad
are.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta feel
God.
bad for him, man.
Isn't it
was-
such a hard life?
It was tough, man. It was tough.
God,
honestly.
doesn't it sound difficult?
Oh, flipping
Do you know the podcast that you're on? These poor
These poor pros.
these
Oh.
You don't know what these
burdened
guys go
millionaires.
It was.
God,
it
isn't
was
it a hard life?
It was a weird choice of words.
They PJ out and then they have to PJ back to whatever PGA Tour event
Oh,
that they're
God,
on to
isn't
the
that
elevated
horrible?
events. Absolutely.
Isn't it? Oh, it's so
You
bad
gotta
that their
think,
wife
you
and
gotta-
kids get to go with them everywhere they go.
Private jet.
Yeah.
Right.
On the
This
private
guy,
jet?
he hadn't worked out what PJ was.
I mean, PJs in the UK is something very different.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pajamas.
Pajamas, like getting in and
Okay.
out of your pajamas.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, well, that's a normal thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a very down to earth thing.
I don't wear pajamas, but I'm sure other people do.
Right. Other people probably.
I wear,
do.
I wear pajamas.
Oh, yeah,
I wear
pajamas.
pajamas,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is why I don't share rooms.
Eat.
People.
Hands up, who
Yeah.
wears pajamas?
We got a
Of
couple,
course,
couple in
Spix-
the back.
Of course, Spix wears pajamas. He's
Yeah.
the coolest man alive.
Get at the back, right there.
Maybe I should start wearing pajamas. I don't wear anything.
Just starkers.
As soon as I enter my house, everything just off.
Do you know when we got in last night, Kieran slept in his clothes?
Yeah.
Why?
Really?
Yeah, I just wanted to maximize sleep.
At the Round Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The round holiday inn.
You
Here's a photo.
wanted to maximize sleep.
Yeah.
So he just got into bed in his clothes.
I brushed my teeth straight away and then just got into bed.
So you went through the effort to brush the teeth.
Yeah, brush teeth and then.
You could have.
And in between brushing your teeth and walking to the bed, you couldn't have been like, you know what? I'm gonna shed a
Yeah.
few layers here.
Hang on. Wait a minute.
Yes,
So
I've got him. This is my favourite. When Pete goes, hold on, let me just get clarity.
wait,
on this."
I'm just a little bit confused. So did you brush your teeth this morning?
Yeah.
I don't.
And last night.
That's a perfectly normal thing to do. That's what everyone does, pretty much, in the entire world. But also, it doesn't take long. It takes 20 seconds to put on your clothes in the morning if you've led them out. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you plug your phone into charge?
No, I didn't sleep in this. I slept in like what I wore to dinner.
But to be fair, whether you do it on the front end or the back end, you're still losing.
Yeah. He didn't sleep in the clothes he's wearing now.
Yeah.
He got in
didn't
last
pre-dress.
night and slept in the
He just
clothes.
didn't
I haven't
we
thought
went
about that. That's a good one.
No, it's not. Nor is sleeping in the clothes that you were in. Just take them off.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't take that. Am I losing my mind here? It doesn't take that long.
That is mad. It is a little bit mental.
But
But hey,
I have
it's
questions
one of
for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, hit him. Talk to him.
Well, no, I mean it's just
well, don't hit me.
How did we get from Gary? How did we get from Gary Woodland to this?
we were talking about Gary Woodland.
I don't remember.
You were talking about
We were
PJs.
talking about LAGC.
Oh, PJs.
PJs.
Now we're talking.
Sorry, they're the poor
Private jets.
pros. The poor pros.
The poor-
See, this is why I don't agree with TGL as a concept. It leads to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One rabbit hole. It's just a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have to worry about it for another year, though.
That's true.
It's over.
It's over for another year.
Wow.
You think it's over?
There is.
No.
Here's a
Far too
conversation.
many investments.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Which one goes first, TGL or Live?
Oh, great question. Look straight down the camera. I'm going to turn this into a clip.
Which one goes first?
We're going to bring this out in like 3 years, whenever, whichever one falls first.
Sean Walsh predicts.
I would guess Liv, but honestly, every time you think Liv's dead, something crazy happens. You know, it's like you thought Liv was dead, Anthony Kim wins. It's like, I mean, it's just things like that it's just all of a sudden it's like, and apparently they had, I mean, again, you're watching the coverage that Liv is putting on, but apparently like they had an incredible reception in South Africa.
Apparently South Africa was very
Both
good.
And
Australia
obviously
and South
Adelaide's
Africa.
one of the best ones that they've done in the past. And
Well,
so
I think I've heard off enough people now that Australia and South Africa weren't just like propaganda. They were actually they were actually really well attended. So I think we can believe that now. And what about those crowds at the TGL final?
Yeah, so explain. Explain this to us, right? Explain this to us, right? They're trying to build a league, right? They're trying to build a product.
right.
Why are there empty seats? Why don't they go out into the local area and be like, you like golf? You like golf, right? Do you want to come and watch some of the best players play golf for free to fill our stadium? Or like go to a local golf club and be like, bring your junior section.
Those sound like great ideas.
Why don't they do that? Because it looks terrible that there's empty seats in there.
It's like what's the conversation that you're going to have going to a local school? Hey kids, so
You've heard of Sahith Tagala, right?
hey, so I've got an idea for you. Would you like to come to a oddly spaced out indoor golf simulator to watch people that you don't know or care about hit a golf ball into a screen, which in fairness is fairly big, a little bit too far away to be impressive, and don't hear what they say, don't really know what's going on, try to understand what a hammer is, who the hell knows, to watch your heroes romp home, your local heroes from LA. Like who? Oh, like Tommy Fleetwood. You know, that guy from the
Dubai.
West
That lives
Coast,
in Dubai.
the West Coast of England, who lives in Dubai. All right. Well, who else is one of our local heroes? Oh, what about Justin Rose? Oh my God, where's he from? Oh, he's from England as well. He mostly travels around in a camper van. Oh right. Okay, that's fair enough. What about Colin Morikawa? Oh no. He is actually from California. Yeah, but he's so rich he doesn't care about any of you. So how about you come watch that? That sounds good, doesn't it, kids? I'd rather watch March Madness. I'd rather watch
to
you.
be fair, March Madness.
I'd rather watch UConn.
Oh my God. Okay, so Pete did a prediction. Thank you, Jacob.
Go Huskies.
That UConn were going to win, and they faced Duke yesterday. That's correct.
Yes, they did.
And Duke were the number one seeds. Everyone thought Duke was going to win, and there was a last-second buzzer beater three-pointer shot from name escaping me, Mullins. Can't remember his name.
Basketball Jesus.
Basketball Jesus,
Yeah.
correct. That's what they're calling him now. And we were in. Shout out to Henry's Bar in Charleston.
That's right.
Yeah.
For
That
hosting.
place was a vibe. And then also shout out to the Blind Tiger, except for the fact that your Guinness sucks.
Braylon Mullins.
Brett, I told you it was Mullins.
Braylon Mullins.
Yeah,
Look at
see
you.
that?
Steel trap up there.
Dude, I love March Madness.
Yeah, it's
This-
good.
This time.
Come over here.
It was. Oh no, yeah. It's. Hey, I can't wait.
You're hooked.
I can't wait to fill out my bracket. Like, I can't. I can't remember. What
Have you got
you?
UConn
name-
winning?
can
Yeah,
you
you
name-
can win it.
You've
Yeah.
got UConn winning.
What's the coach's name?
Coach.
I call him coach. You're like, I'm respectful and call him
Everyone's
coach.
coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's coach.
Name one player. It could be the
Mullins.
person they were just talking about.
Something Boozer.
No, he was a Duke.
That was
Oh,
Duke
he
guy.
was on
Yeah,
the other
Duke guy.
team.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
What?
They were saying that he was going to be very good, but then they didn't win. So.
Yeah, but apparently Duke choke every year. Was that
It's
they suck?
becoming kind of a
a
theme.
bit of a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not good news for UConn.
So, do you just want a quick numbers on the final
Yeah.
viewership? How many views do you think the
TGL.
Oh, TGL?
TGL brought in?
I'm going to go 300,000.
Nah, more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say more than that.
Well, the Rory ones are 600k, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
989,000 views.
Live viewers.
Live peak, like average viewership. Peak was 1.09. It's the second. It's the highest of season 2. It's the second highest in TGL history.
Why don't?
Don't get him started on TGL history. There are 2 years of history.
History.
There are
This
2
is
years of
second
history.
season, Pete. This is.
Can we?
Wait.
Can we have some kind of official cutoff
For history.
for when history becomes history? Like, how long does it have to be? 20 years. 20 years. 20 years after that point, you can call it history.
I don't
You
know.
need a big enough data set, basically,
I don't know.
is
I
what you're
think,
talking about?
I think something major has to have
Yeah.
changed in order for it to become history.
I had to get a new phone the other day when it was like Chris Gotterup had the longest drive in TGL history. My phone hit the wall at about 30 miles an hour. Give me a break. Just give me a break. Just show the clip. Show the clip. Here's Chris Gotterup smashing a drive down there, down this weird funnel fairway in a made-up desert on a screen. And just be excited about the fact he's hit a long drive.
What do you think? What's your favorite hole in TGL?
Oh, who gives a shit? Like,
Write down whatever the time is. I'm going to need to cut him out swearing.
who cares? I mean, apart from the Stinger one.
That's a cool hole.
Okay, you like Stinger. What about the
Not
par
really.
3 that's like 285, but it has a giant wall behind it, ramps
Yeah,
the ball
that
back
coffee
onto the
funnel
par
one.
three?
Yeah.
I'm gonna backtrack on myself a tiny bit here, because one of my criticisms of the first season was the fact that they didn't lean into what they had enough. Like they were playing normal golf
Yeah.
holes,
Right.
when in fact actually having some fun with it and like doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like the whole design, I can kind of get on board with.
Okay.
So I like that more than like just playing a replica of the 12th at Copperhead or whatever.
What do you think? What do you think the TGL's biggest problem is amongst people who are more probably like golf purists such as yourself?
So I don't. Probably my biggest pet peeve in a way is like the manufacturing of the teams and like the franchises.
Yeah.
And I don't like forced teams. And like the idea that people from Atlanta care about Atlanta Drive.
Right.
Or you should support, like, it just doesn't, like, it's going to take a certain amount of history.
20 years.
20 years of Atlanta Drive.
One of the PJs is going over. Give us a second.
TGL hit squad are coming. Just to actually make it make sense. The thing is, I've got to be honest, Sean, I don't actually understand why it annoys me quite as much as it does.
You just know that it does.
I just know that it does.
Yeah.
I just know that there is something inherently wrong with it. And I'm just not on board with it.
However, if they created a influencer YouTuber golf team for TGL and Pete got an invite, he would say yes.
The winning team got $9 million. $9 million. Sean, it was $9 million to play simulator golf.
Which we do for free at home.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
$9 million.
Yeah, 1 second.
$9 million.
$9 million.
$9 million to hit a ball into a screen. It's a big screen, admittedly.
it's a big screen.
It's a big screen. Like, would I play in a YouTuber team if I got invited? Of course I would. Of course I would. 9 million on the line for simulator golf. You don't have to throw any grass up, no wind.
Would you,
You do
play?
have to throw the hammer.
Would you? Yeah, exactly. Would you play in a league, let's say like a YouTube creator league that's maybe it was like $1 million purse to the finale?
I would certainly consider it.
Okay.
You like
Yeah, that's
Vegas, right?
Vegas is something I could get on board with as well. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
Just curious, hypotheticals.
yeah.
Obviously.
Well, I like to be involved with things that are actually good to watch. So that's where I draw the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would the problem is like TGL team? You'd have to name it after like a US city as well, because like you can't have anything other than somewhere in the US.
Yeah.
I reckon eventually.
Mr. Beast could own our team.
We could, I want to be the Chattanooga
Beast.
Chickens.
That's right. We'd have like Speed,
The Charleston,
Mr. Beast,
yeah.
like in the owner's box.
I could rep for Charleston.
Yeah, I loved
I
Charleston.
could move here. That's what you should. If you play for one of the teams, you have to live in the area.
That's it. That's what I think should be the rule.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to
So-
be. You got to be from there or live there.
The Hot Springs, like the Hot Springs Village, that's obviously the city you would.
Oh yeah. Hot Springs Hoosiers or whatever.
That's right, exactly.
No, Charleston I could get on board with. I love it. It's really cool.
It is. It's a nice city. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I think we've digressed a little bit. So
Gary Woodland.
Matt.
Yeah, where did we go?
We're just gonna mention very quickly. Matt Fitzpatrick, Alex Fitzpatrick have won in consecutive weeks. So Matt Fitzpatrick won the Valspar last week, and Alex Fitzpatrick, 2 weeks ago, Alex Fitzpatrick won on Sunday the Hero Indian Open at a golf course, which I am really keen to play.
Have you seen
I
the
was going to
course?
say, like, you want to talk about golf courses that don't look like they exist?
Oh
like,
my god,
that one.
The bunkering on this thing
Yeah.
is what something went, especially like with the I'm sure it's the closing hole, the one up the par 5 up the hill with all the rocks and everything.
I think.
Or is that 16 maybe?
I think that's like in the closing stretch, but I think 18's like downhill par 5.
Downhill.
I'm pretty sure. But
I can't quite picture it because
the one where you can't see the green and so you
Yeah.
just see
Yes.
that little tip
Yeah.
of the
it's sort of
flag.
like top of a mountain.
Yeah.
It's just I love the idea that can you just have a look who designed that golf course, like what the golf course called, who designed it, because I think at some point they gave the brief to somebody and said whatever you want to do, just do it, and he had no restraints. Maybe he had a few to drink, and he just made this golf course, but no one stopped him. No one stopped him. And he just built it exactly how he designed it. And he came up with this golf course, which every single one of the pros, when they go, are petrified of.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was like it's a golf course that basically the guy like stepped on property and he said, "We go this way," and then everybody followed him and went this way, and then he walks off and then he's like,
Bunker.
"We go this way." Literally.
How
Yeah.
deep? I don't care. Dig it down.
Your original idea was that they did all the measurements in yards and then they put it up in meters.
Meters, yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Oh.
Yeah, they designed it all.
Everything's taller.
They just put the numbers. They didn't put what the units were. And then they went out. But 6 meter high bunker. It's a bit mad, isn't it?
This is what John wants.
All right.
It's like, I'm not
Okay,
gonna
let's
mess
make
with
it.
him.
Let's do it.
What's the course called?
It's called DLF Golf and Country Club.
That's the one, yeah.
It is designed by Gary Player, but the original 9 holes was designed by Arnold Palm.
Oh, Arnold and Gary. Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Terrifying combination.
There's a terrifying combination.
But yeah, the Fitzpatricks win back-to-back weeks. And
That was the first time ever that siblings have won professional golf events in back-to-back weeks.
no way.
Yep.
Really?
First time ever.
First time ever.
It's the only ones I could ever think about would be like the Hoygards.
I was
or
about to say Hoygards, yeah.
even like the Paul brothers, but that's the only.
Or
other thing I
Minwoo
could
and
think-
Minji Lee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the first
It's
time.
the first
ever.
time
time?
ever that.
You know what you could call that? The first time in history.
That qualifies as history.
Yeah, because it's actually historic.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's true.
Well, yeah, history is technically. I looked up the definition of what history. What
You're really taking this producer role to
what
the
does
next level.
history?
Kim.
When does history become history? History become history the moment an event passes, but it typically becomes historic for study when enough time passes. Often cited as around 20 years or one generation.
A generation makes sense.
Generational drive from
But yeah,
Chris Scott up.
yeah.
You know what? A generational drive. Or in the recent past. The biggest drive in the recent past on TGL. That's
Yeah.
The
fine.
recent
If
past.
they said the short history of TGL, then I think I would.
The short history does imply that it's going to end very quickly, doesn't it? It's like in the short history that we've been about.
Yeah.
So anyway, well done, Alex. He's a very, very good golfer. And those two together, like... Because the not the argument, but it was always said that when Alex was coming through the ranks, he was the better golfer than Matt, like at stages of their junior career type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So to see him break through and to win a few more events, that'd be class.
Which siblings win, the Fitzpatricks or the Hoygards, in a 2
Oh,
on 2?
you want to talk about
Wow.
YouTube?
That's a
golf
YouTube
special
video.
there.
That would be
Yeah.
good,
I
wouldn't
think the Rough Cut Pod should host it.
We'll host.
it? Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll
do
host the first ever sibling match in YouTube history
There you
to
go.
play on Golf Pro Tours game. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
That's a
You've
good
got
title.
a title.
Yeah, snappy.
It's only 743 characters, I think. I think you're good there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh,
I'll
what?
do it.
Yeah, we'll fix
Um,
it. Get David to fix it in post.
So the last thing we'll just to kind of touch on is Rory has got a documentary out on Amazon Prime, which is about his Masters win last year, 2025. I have had a quick kind of flick through it. I might actually kind of snuggle under the covers later on tonight, fully clothed, and watch it all.
With pajamas or not pajamas?
I'm not going to put pajamas on top of my clothes.
He said fully clothed.
Oh right, did he? Oh
Yeah.
right.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, so me, Rory, fully clothed in bed. We're going to be looking back at the 2025 Masters journey.
Like that. You and Rory.
And the snippets
He's
I've
got
seen
like
of it.
4
Give
pillows
him
right here.
some back tickles. Play with his hair.
The clips I've seen of it and the few bits that I've watched of it, it brought back actually quite a lot of memories about like how hard that last round was to watch.
Yes.
And how, I mean, obviously we've never been, like me and Sean have had chances to win pro events, nothing of this magnitude,
Correct.
obviously.
Right.
And nothing of a historic significance, there's that word, to get into the Grand Slam, but also because Rory, the Masters, we know what happened back in 2011. We know he's had this chance to win the Grand Slam for so long. The emotional baggage that he's carried into every single tournament. The fact that he played incredibly well last year in stretches. The fact that he played terribly on a few of the holes. Whenever he looked like he was getting ahead. Whenever he had the chance to put it to bed. Literally, that pitch shot on 13 was one of the worst golf shots hit that week.
Honestly.
It was so bad. That pitch into the that pitch is harsh, but
Right
that
shot.
shot into the last in
Yeah.
regulations. There's so much of
Same
that
shot.
around.
Same shot too, basically.
It was just. We were watching it in a bar in Phoenix, and admittedly, we'd had a couple to drink, so emotions were running high. But just the sense of like despair and elation to be so high to so low, and that was us, had nothing to do with how he was feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
And the bits that I've watched so far of the documentary kind of just brought that back, and you can see it was like bringing it back for him, just like the relief.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
relief.
that was obviously just a huge growth moment for him because you almost get the feeling that if he doesn't win that,
He's
Yeah.
like it's never gonna happen.
no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he could be leading by 7 going into a Masters in the future, but if he didn't close that one out last year, that you just felt like
Yeah.
it's just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there had been so much build-up because of, we had talked about it for the last 10 years leading up to it. About he had the was it 2014 when when was the last one when he hooks it into the trees on the left? And
2011.
2011, yeah. He has that moment, and he was. Everyone was expecting him to go on to win the tournament, and he let it slip. And we had this build-up ever since, and every single year, all of the conversation was, is Rory going to get it done this year? And there were some years where, there's people like Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm wins on the anniversary of Seve's death. There are moments outside of Rory's story that are obviously amazing, but the entire time we were thinking, when the hell is he going to get it done?
Yeah.
And it came down to that one.
Yeah.
He's played well leading up to it, like you said, a couple of dodgy holes leading into that last round. I think you are exactly right. If he hadn't have done it then, everything would be different.
Oh yeah.
Everything would be different.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great, and it was an incredibly emotional victory. But I kind of think for the Masters as well, I think it was overall a really good thing because there are now other things that we can talk about. There are other things that aren't going to be like dominating like pre-tournament conversation.
He said it, didn't he? Like, what we're going to talk
What
about
we're
now.
gonna
It kind of frees up the conversation.
Yeah. You can talk about different plays, different things.
Yeah.
And I think overall that is kind of what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's very rare where so many people wanted one person to win an event.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, even people I know that didn't, that maybe aren't fans of Rory, I know were like, I mean, especially like as a golfer yourself, you're watching it happen and you're like, please don't do what it looks like you're about to do. Like I can't watch this.
Yeah.
I can't watch this for you. And so, I mean, yeah, I think that that's an interesting point. It's like it kind of frees up the conversation of like, what are we going to talk about now that we don't have, what's Brandel Chambly going to talk about other than Bryson and his YouTube? That like,
Yeah. Well, actually, touching on Bryson, do you want to tell people the weird fact about this year's Masters and who is going to win?
I'm getting out.
It's getting up. It's a stat that really indicates that Bryson, through the weird machinations of fate, is going to triumph as the Masters champion this year.
okay.
Because the data suggests, the numbers show, as I try and extend this sentence so Kieran can pull up the facts, that Bryson DeChambeau, player of the arm lock putter and the long drives, big
Come on,
balls,
Wi-Fi. Come on, Wi-Fi.
could potentially don the green jacket for the first time in history, take another step on the road to maybe securing his own Grand Slam. See, Kieran
He hasn't got it.
is letting me down.
Kieran!
I think I saw it on Ways to Golf on Instagram.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
No, I saw it on X. I'm getting it now.
On X. Okay. It feels like it's a bit of a lull on into. I could have
I'm
carried
intrigued.
Yeah, honestly, you did. I was so proud of
I
how.
mean, I didn't think it was going to be that difficult to find. It's something along the lines of he's 32 years old,
Okay.
and he's ninth in like the Data World Golf Rankings,
Okay.
and that is a very significant number when you look at the average age and the average world ranking of the winners.
Here we go. In the last 10 Masters, the average winner is 32 years old and ranked 9th in the Data Golf Rankings. In the last 20 Masters, the average winner is 32 years old and ranked 9th in the Data Golf Rankings. Bryson is currently ranked 9th in the Data Golf Rankings and just turned 32.
And because it's over 20 years, that's considered history. It's considered significant. And I think that's a hell of a way to end the podcast, guys. So thank you so much for wrapping your delicate, lovely ears around our words. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you to subjecting your eyes to us as well. Sean, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We are filming multiple videos here at Kiowa Island. There's already been some incredible golf played, so make sure you keep your eye out when those videos arrive. Mick, thank you as well for sitting up so straight.
Yeah, I'm trying.
On top
trying
of that
very hard.
laptop.
Yeah.
Kieran, thank you. And everyone, we'll see you next time.
Also, thank you to the members. Thanks so much for supporting the podcast. Your names are running down there using the Star Wars thingy. You're the best. If you want to become a member, click the little join button at the bottom.
See you
next time, everyone.
Bye.